Houston is our hometown. Over and over and over, we see these news reports about escalating violence, especially violence involving guns, people shooting each other. We said in our earlier podcast that it's my opinion that people shoot people that they know. There are exceptions, obviously, but today we're going to talk about what's happening in Houston and why are we increasing in our crimes against persons involving shootings. You're watching and listening to the SAFESECURE 360 podcast. There's safety in numbers.
Lieutenant Robert Henry is an honorably retired law enforcement commander from Houston with over 35 years of public service experience. I'm Daniel Ziegler. I've been asking questions all my life, and on this show, I do my best to ask the questions that the public would like to know the answer to. The SAFESECURE 360 podcast is intended to provide you, the listener, with information about current events and ongoing societal challenges to help make your life safer. Thank you for listening. This is the SAFESECURE 360 podcast. There is safety in numbers. Well, Robert, thank you for sitting down with us and talking with us today. We had a couple of weekends ago here in Houston, there were 3 killed and 10 injured by gunfire in 10 hours in Houston. That's all in one day on a Sunday. From 9 p.m. to 4 a.m., there's just a list of these incidents that happened, all relating with guns, and all have somebody killed or injured in them. What is going on? Help us understand what is happening. Something's changing, and what is that?
Many factors can influence someone to use deadly force against someone else. Domestic violence scenarios are probably one of the highest. Then secondly are robbery attempts or theft attempts, and you involve a firearm, it becomes an aggravated robbery scene. It's pretty fundamental. You have it, and I want it. You're not going to give it to me, so I'm going to take it. And if you resist me, I'm going to shoot you. That's what happened at that bus stop on Hillcroft near West Park the other night at 9 o'clock. 2 guys approached a guy and took his phone. He resisted. He shot him. He's expected to recover. But that's how simple it happens. Gang member on gang member, crook on crook. They shoot each other all the time. If you looked at the news or statistics from Chicago this weekend, you may have had 30 shootings, 10 people dead, all age ranges. That is a shocking statistic, but we're not far behind. So we have to do more to try to stop this violence from happening, because it's happening more and more and more, and the streets of Houston are becoming less and less safe.
Well, thank you all for watching and listening. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to our channel and click the like button on this episode. This will keep you up to date with what we're up to, and it will help our channel grow and reach new people. Like we always say, there is safety in numbers. I mentioned before that these acts of violence are really a mental health problem. I haven't heard a lot of people talk about that or really elucidate that point. Could you talk about that in this context, that something's happening where people are finding it okay to shoot each other? It's not okay. That's not how you treat other people. It's not how you were raised, probably. And so it's this mental health problem and degradation of mental health. Can you tell us a little bit more information about that?
Extreme violence in which you use a deadly weapon with your intent to harm or kill someone or multiple people, it's my opinion you are experiencing a mental health problem. If you have departed from the reasonableness of, hey, that's not right to do that, that's against the law to do that, I could go to prison for a very long time or be subjected to the death penalty, and you still do it after you've weighed those behavior and consequences and decided, I'm still going to do it, you are in at least a transitory mental health problem.
And this at 9:15, 15 minutes later than what you were just talking about earlier. There's a deadly shooting that may have started about an argument over a parking spot. That is not a normal response to having somebody take your parking spot. Killing them is not a in line with reason response to that. You know that something negative might happen to you, but you've chosen to do that anyway. That's a big mental health problem. When you're confronted by somebody who's angry or that is kind of looking like they're flying off the cuff and they are coming at you, how can you what are some tactics of de-escalation you might employ if you were in one of these situations where somebody was coming at you?
I think it's smart to start with environmentally, being aware of what's around you. Where are you? And who's around you? And that sixth sense that you have, that something feels unusual or dangerous, is usually correct. Are you parking somewhere at 1 o'clock in the morning in a parking lot of a bar? Chances are bad things can happen. I once heard as a child, nothing happens good after 10 o'clock at night. So where are you? Who are you with? Why are you there? How long are you going to be there? Where are you parking if you're in a car? Is it lit? Are there other cars around you? How far is it to go into the mall or the business or whatever it is you're doing? Think about that. And when you decide you're ready to go, go. Just don't sit in your car. Just don't be texting in your car. Your door's unlocked, you're sitting in your car, the dome light may be on. Criminals or people who want to take advantage of others are looking and watching for you. And there you are. And now what started off as a crime of opportunity is going to be a directed crime at you, whether to rob you or to sexually assault you or to in some way injure you, because they want what you have and they're going to take it. So other things can happen as well. Maybe not a property crime. Maybe just a strict persons crime where, like you said, you parked in my spot, that's my spot, move your car, no, I'm not. It's nothing to do with property, but they end up damaging your car or property, or they end up threatening or damaging or shooting you. So step one, be aware environmentally of where you are. Make smart decisions about where you park, where you travel, who you're with. Get out of the car and go. Once you get there, when you get back to your car, get in your car, start it, and go. Those are some fundamental things you can do. SAFESECURE 360. We are a security consulting group located in the Woodlands, Texas. We assist our multiple clients by reducing their risk, loss, and reputation impact. We also do full security assessments on their facilities, large churches, large private schools in Texas, and we want to help you. Take a look at our website, safesecure360.com.
At 11:15 p.m. in South Main near Buffalo Speedway, there was a victim shot several times. There's not even a lot of information on some of these. There's just that this is all in one night. And then at 12:20 a.m., two people were shot while sitting in a car near Montrose. And these things just keep going on throughout the night. Should everyone just be too scared to go to Houston, or what's the takeaway from this for us, that there's maybe just being aware that these things do happen can help us make good decisions? You said opportunity crime earlier. I think that's a really interesting and well-chosen set of words. If you don't make yourself if you don't provide an opportunity for somebody to mess with you, like you said, just getting in your car and leaving, you can get yourself out of the situation. What can we take away from these incidents where people are committing acts of violence against each other just sitting on the street?
Well, to answer your question, the Houston Police Department and other law enforcement agencies in the Houston area really try to do a great job to protect our citizens and make our communities safe. They do. However, there's only so many police officers, and there's a big area to cover. We have millions of people in greater Houston, greater Harris County, greater Montgomery County, Conroe, all the way to Galveston. It's a huge area. And when you talked about these 3 different crime events, I was making note in my head about where they were. The first one is Southwest Houston. The next one, Buffalo Speedway, is kind of Midwest Houston. And the last one is Montrose, which is more of an in-town, midtown type place. So you can quickly look at that and see that it's not just geography-based crime. It could be. There are certain parts of our city that have historically higher incidents of persons and property crime than others. Why is that? Well, it's a complex answer, but I think that doing some smart things to advantage yourself is a good idea. You see in these parking lots where a lot of this crime happens in retail settings, you see these signs: lock your car, take your keys, cover your belongings. It's a great advice. It's a great idea. Lock your car, get out of it and go. Cover your belongings. Carry out like a black little throw rug or something. And if you have items, especially in the holiday season, cover those items up. If you have a laptop or you have some other type of things you're traveling with, cover them up. That reduces the opportunity crime where someone walks by and looks in your car and sees a laptop and decides, hey, you know what? I hadn't planned on breaking in a car today, but hey, there's that laptop. Even better, the car is unlocked. These days, when you hear a car alarm, used to, when you heard a car alarm, it was a big deal. Everybody stopped what they were doing. They looked. Some of the car alarms talked and said, step back. Or now, it's just more of a nuisance. But if you see something that is uncomfortable, or you see something that has the potential to be uncomfortable for you, tell someone. Wait to go back out to your car. Walk faster. Carry less cash. Try not to carry as many packages. Try to be aware of your surroundings and try to get around other people as soon as you can. Being isolated increases the risk of being a victim.
That's interesting. What you're describing is a self-awareness where you're recognizing how you look to a random person on the street. If you're walking around some of these areas of Houston with cash falling out of your pockets, you're going to quickly make some friends probably that are going to think about doing an opportunity crime, that you just happen to walk by looking so conspicuous that you are drawing attention to yourself. And the other side of that is you could hide your things when you're going shopping. Don't make your car look so conspicuous. It just looks like a car. When people are glancing, they might go to another car to mess with that. And then to go out with groups at night might be a really good a good idea. Like you're saying, that being isolated makes you more susceptible to these things. There was a drive-by at 1:30 a.m., all in the same night, where 3 juveniles were shot. 2 victims were taken to the hospital, and the youngest is 14 years old. It's not just older people or young people. It's not just one part of town. It's not just in parking lots. This is kind of like this whole sprawl of Houston. It's like a snapshot of Houston in a night. How do police go about trying to solve? I've always been curious about this. When there's this many things going on in one area, how do they decide the priority of what to work on, and how do they coordinate going around and helping people with these problems?
The police have a very tough job to do, and they do a good job. The concept of defunding the police is not good. And places around the country who advocated that have quickly learned that. Crime is a constant thing, and it's going to always be a constant thing. So our professionals law enforcement officers who go out and try to solve these crimes, prevent these crimes, investigate these crimes, prosecute these crimes. It's very tough to do. And as you can see from the numbers and from the descriptions of the people that you're talking about that have been shot in one day, they include juveniles. Now, these aren't accidental shootings that you're talking about where a 14-year-old got his dad's gun and shot himself. These are intended, deliberate acts where they don't care the age of the victim. We started off by talking about an elderly person. Now we're talking about 14-year-olds and other juveniles that are being shot. So we've identified that it doesn't matter what part of town you're in. We've identified that it doesn't matter what age you are. It doesn't really matter what time of day it is, because most of all these happen in the evening, but it's not exclusive to the evening. In the evening, more people are home or they're away from work. So the crime opportunities are enhanced for persons crimes for sure, and property crimes. So we have to do more to educate people about ways to de-escalate things and not just turning to a gun. The gun doesn't cause the problem. It's the shooter that does the problem. So how do we reach them, re-educate them, and give them alternative behaviors besides using deadly force is a very important process.
This is interesting that this is happening throughout the whole city, and officers are strapped. They're just keeping up at this point. It seems like they're just trying to go to the next thing. And it often in cities, this is something that's not totally unheard of either. That a night like this isn't something that only happens once every 50 years. This is something that happens from time to time. How can we, so you've said that police are doing a really good job of keeping up with this and helping where they can keep people safe. And yet there's a bigger and bigger group that's growing of people that are willing to do things that are illegal or that will hurt other people. How do we come together as a community where I would bet that most people want to just feel safe? How does that feeling overtake the feeling of, I don't care if I hurt other people? How do we balance out these feelings and let the community and the law enforcement and government all come? This is a big question, of course, but do you have any ideas about what we can do together to help educate each other or to help provide some solutions for people that are suffering from these mental illnesses?
I think our listeners and viewers would agree that a lot of this starts at home. And a lot of the life lessons that are learned by these folks are lacking. There's structure lacking, there's discipline lacking, there's rules lacking. And I think that our families need to do a better job of educating and mentoring our children. Then let's add in our faith-based communities. We have appeared to have drifted away from that a lot in the last few years, certainly. I think that faith-based communities give good examples and good modeling about what proper behavior should be. I think that our police community has a role in education, and they do, community service outreach work to talk to different groups that are at risk and educate them on alternatives to bad behavior. I think our business community has a role as well to be able to support events or support causes or to have things occur where people can come together and talk and try to build a sense of community and enhance a sense of safety. I think it's a contributory on all of those groups together in an effort to reduce violence.
It sounds like a feeling of isolation or loneliness has something to do with these acts of violence too. When each thing that you just mentioned involves other people coming together, involves community. Families at home is a small community. The police and law enforcement is a community, government officials are community, and the educators are all a community. So maybe we could all just learn something about treating each other well, setting a good example for safe and secure practices, just walking around, being a little gracious can probably make somebody feel a little bit less lonely day to day. Is there anything else that people should keep on their minds about this in Houston? Again, Houston is a great city that has lots of places to shop. It has lots of community events. I love going to concerts in Houston. I don't want to believe in a world where I can no longer do that, and I don't. So I'm going to stay aware of my surroundings when I go down to Houston, but pay attention that I'm getting into the city. There's more people here. Are there any other mindsets that lead me to having a safe and secure night out when I go into a city or if I'm traveling?
I think my advice about being aware and having a plan, if something goes wrong, what is your plan? And the plan begins with where do you park, where do you go, who are you with, how is the vibe of the crowd where you're at. Those are all factors that you would continually evaluate, but it doesn't have to just be in downtown Houston. It can be in a suburb of Houston where things could happen. It could be in the Woodlands, it could be in Clear Lake, it could be in the Katy area, it could be anywhere. So wherever you are, have a plan in mind about doing things smart and watching and looking and observing potential threats and taking countermeasures to reduce those threats. I think is good advice.
It really is. A little bit of planning and some preparation can go a long way towards having a safe experience out. Well, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you talking this out with us. This is hard to talk about. It's close to home, but it's important to talk about the reality of the ups and downs of the world. We also talked a lot about community today. So if you're part of this community that's watching this show, I hope you're hearing what we're saying, that we can do something different that can help these problems. We want to talk about them not to scare you, but to talk about these so that you can prepare with you and your friends and your family at home. So like we always say, there is safety in numbers. And the other thing we always say is thank you for watching, listening, and spending time with us. This is the Safe Secure 360 podcast. Thank you. The information provided in our podcasts is for general information uses only and is not intended as legal advice. The views and opinions expressed by the guests are their own. Always consult with a qualified professional before making safety and security decisions. For more information about this topic, check out our website at safesecure360.com.